Namaste everyone. I wanted to share a very happy news and what inspired me to do this Durga Saptasati recitation and translation and esoteric meaning, hidden meaning, symbolisms. I started this journey of doing this Durga Saptasati maybe 20 days earlier. When this all started, me being an Akashic healer and reader, I was doing that work of healing and consulting people on it, which itself is a miracle. Which because when I was pursuing Akashic records, I never thought that I would be taking it as profession. I just thought, okay, it came as a gift, so let me. Because of my perfectionism, I learned learned it thoroughly. I went to a US program. I learned it from a teacher, Miss Lisa Barnett, and she taught many students. So I was one of the. I'm honored to learn from her, and I'm always grateful to her that she introduced me to this beautiful world of record keepers and masters. I really love them. After knowing how much they love us and take care, the more and more I do readings, the more and more I fall in love with their purity of heart and their enthusiasm towards helping humanity solve their problems, releasing karmic loops, breaking people, helping them ideas and ways so that people can break from their recurring pattern of problems or give them guidance towards the future, purposeful living, divine blueprint, all of these. And of course, once we start learning, talking with records, mediumship also comes maybe as part of our when we are evolved and when we ascend certain levels, we also can talk to the deceased people, we can communicate with the pets, anything that has a soul, we can communicate. And as part of it, I started communicating with gods also, which again, as my teacher said, this is all parts of, because Akashic realms are also part of the divine realms. We can access even the different divine beings also, which are like gods. So firstly, it was so difficult for me to accept it because I never heard that this would happen. And when I go to temple, like say I'm going to a Ganesha temple, I used to hear this small boy talking to me about, whatever is the thing I'm talking to God, I'm hearing a response. So when I go to an Anjaneya Swami temple, it used to be more of a very elderly person, a wise person speaking about, giving answers. When I go to a Mukambika temple or any Parvati, any goddess's temple, I hear voices in a very, because I'm a Telugite and it comes in a very a Grandhika Telugu in that way, and very soft, very sweet, very slow paced. And then when I speak with Lord Venkateswara Swami, I don't know the reason, but gods, when they talk about each other, because my house is very near to a Venkateswara Swami temple and then Anjaya Swami temple, and then there is Mukambika Amwaru also there, and Lord Shiva is also there around, little more around it. So when I go to each of these temples and when I talk, they talk in Srinivasa. Like they don't talk Venkateswara Swami, they say Srinivasudu, Anjaneyaru. They won't say Hanuman. I mean, at least I hear so. And they talk like this. And when Mahalakshmi speaks about, Mahalakshmi's husband is Lord Vishnu, right? And in Narayanadu, and then Venkateswara Swami is also a form of Lord Vishnu. So she says like when my husband is really happy about whatever you're doing, I will come to you. That's what she says to me. Like, and we keep hearing these things, right? That when Lord Vishnu is happy, Lakshmi also comes. In some way, it looks like they're all true. That if you have to please Ma Lakshmi, you please Lord Vishnu, automatically Ma Lakshmi also comes home. So all of these were the occurrences, and then one of the days I'm very plain. I don't put on a lot of jewelry and stuff like that. And one of the days I put on these some jewelry because there was a housewarming thing for my husband's sister, like a Iraqi sister. And that day, my cousin, Ulfi, who's very, very evolved again, who's into a lot of this Ma sadhana, um, he said there's something on Lalita Ma and all. And I was a diviner. I was able to talk. Ma was able to talk through me. And that was a foray into this world of, goddesses, feminine energy. Lalita or Durga, Maa Kali, all of these divine forces. After that, I thought of visiting to that place, the temple, which she was talking about. It was impossible. Then, when I asked the reason, she said, you don't have mantra siddhi. Okay, you have the ability to communicate to us, but that's true because I never ever prayed like sitting hours and hours. I come from a traditional Brahmin family, but never I was egoistic. I thought maybe like every one of us. And now it hit. My sister, my mom, dad are very, very ritualistic, very, very, they chant prayers and stuff. I've seen them doing it, but I was on and off. And but if you look at my measurement of my mantra siddhi, it was very, very low because I was not doing it regularly at all. Once in a while, only during festivals. Like everyone, every other software engineer or any other, busy professional. So I said, "Oh yeah, sure, yes, definitely, I lack it." Then they said, "Okay, why don't you do Varahi?" I said, "Okay." And they have given me a bija mantra. So I chanted that. I almost did that for almost, I think, 20 to 40 days. 6 months ago, this was. From there, I entered into Rajashyam. Again, I did it for quite a while time. After that, I did Hanuman Chalisa for 108 times on Hanuman Chalis, Hanumanji's birthday, Anjay Swami's birthday. And then I went and did Homa. And there there are a lot of things that's happening, but I hear a voice from Maa Kali saying, this is a Bijakshar you need to recite. So I went again. And that too, all of these are for 108 times into 11 times kind of part. So I almost did for 4 5 months. These rigorous 108 times into 11 times chanting. After that, somehow I hear you need to do Durga Saptasathi. Okay, let me do it. I did 5 days and then I'm invited into this Homa, which was very last monthish work, 15 days before to this space. And then I was having an intention that, oh God, this is so difficult to recite. How do I even know how to recite? And then I was sitting behind my dad. My dad was doing the Homa. I was only participating it. Then I got a book, this Mahatyam book. And I started when the Veda Pandit, 21 Ved Pandits at Sri Shakti Peetham, Tirupati, they were reciting. I was making notes on how to recite each of these. And there, even there's a huge Kalima there, beautiful, with 16 hands. I couldn't talk to her. Absolute silence. I mean, like, why is it so silent? Did I lose my connection with God or what? I thought. Then I went into Varahi Ma's, the temple complex. They had Kali Ma, Varahi, and Pratyangirama, Ma, all three gods. Went to talk to Varahi Ma and say, Amma, did I lose my power or what? Because when you may also heard it, when I feel so like, what did I deserve to get this privilege? My mom, dad does prayers like a lot, and that day during that Homa, my brother he does a lot, and they were so big pandits from Sringeri Mat, and they were doing Rudram in 8 minutes. This whole Devi Mahatyam, they were able to study in maybe 1 hour or so, everything together. And I'm able to hear the Bijakshar mantra chant from Ma. And I showed it to one of the seer that came, and they said this is all really nice mantras. They contain it's meaningful mantras. I'm like lost. What do I do now with this? And I mean, I feel very undeserving, right? Like I never prayed so much, and I'm able to listen and talk to the gods, and all of these I've done so much, and they are listening from me. I feel so small in to tell this. And so because I keep telling this, I thought that day when I went to home, I really lost having the power to talk to gods anymore. So I thought, okay, maybe gods got angry at me, so I'm not able to hear. Then I was able to hear Varahima's voice that no, It's not that. And I've been asking questions, right? Like, what happens to my previous work? 10 years I've spent on psychology, creating multiple tools, resources. What will happen to that? And what is this gift? And how do I converge the God's work, Akash records healing and this, and then my resources? I authored 5 books. What do I do with that? How do I make bigger impact? So all of this is still very unclear to me, right? So I was seeking answers, and one of the reasons I went there is to meet the Kuttan Swami to get answers. So I was like, maybe she said you get all your answers by 22nd. Just go and participate. And I said, okay. Thinking, Amma, I'm not so connected, so I just had said, Amma, hello, namaste. Yeah, I spoke with Kalima also. You're enjoying. It's a very God speak in a very sweet way, very compassionate, kind way. I'm gonna have more videos on the conversations I keep having with gods. But trust me, they're very sweet. They're very, very ah, so loving there. And then I became more sweeter maybe after I heard their voice. That's sweet there. They're that loving, so synchronous, so accurate, so touching. So that's the reason I wanted to tell this. I wanted to do these videos to share about God's work. That this is how God really is. And there are a lot of times we hear certain things that more focus on, not the connection, but more on the ritualistic part or the other things other than having connection. So God want me to be a way. That's why I hear this guidance that we need to do this Durga Saptashati part. In helping my devotees understand about me in a more deeper way by understanding the hidden meanings behind this whole. At a forefront, it appears to be a war between, a lot of demons and how Ma won over them, right? But at the background, there's a lot of rich knowledge the scripture can give us. So she wants me to, and then I feel okay. That's the reason I was sit to, monitor the recitation and stuff like that. I asked them, in case if I'm not sitting in this puja homam, why did you ask me even to come? And I said, no, I want you to listen to the prayers and you wanted to see the actual recitation order, so that you're gonna talk this to the world. I said, okay, I'll take that also. And then when I was sitting, I was not able to get any word from that idol, Ma Kali, Maa Chandi Ma's, that picture they put. Like, okay, fine. And then I came back home and I started, and they said, I get a guidance that you need to do this for 44 days. I said, okay, I'm going to accept it. I started doing it. This is today, 15th day. And when I was doing here, so far I have not heard anything about Ma's voice. And I was only giving curd rice as prasadam. And one of the days when I failed to write, because my best friend, she invited me, my son, and my husband for a lunch because of, and I thought I'll just give, I recited this part and I'll use some milk. And then you trust me, the rice hole got burnt. Mom wanted a big meal from me was after doing all these prayers, and my son got into stomach upset and stuff like. And when I asked masters what happened suddenly, why all of a sudden when I said no, Ma want you to do all of this. Only it was like somebody used to be a medium to talk about Ma, but not she never heard her voice. And I said, okay, what I do? And I said, okay, do prasad like pulogre and some sweet and curd rice. I said, okay, I did it. Then the next day, again, whole week I put prasad or curd rice. Again on Saturday when I did on that day I did curd rice, and then I did again another pulogre and another sweet. So this curd rice, it got stuck. It is not opening only. Then I asked masters, why is it not opening? I said, Papa got bored with your curd rice. Stop doing it. I said, oh, then I realized, is it gods also will get bored? He said, yeah, you're such a good cook, and why don't you even, all your food is only for you. You don't want us to enjoy your food. And this who speaks? Lord Venkateswara Swami, because that was Saturday. Said, I said, okay. I thought it's my imagination. I said, okay, let me test it. Because that's how we test whether it's our ego or really there's an information from the divine sources. So I asked, okay, if this is real, this whatever, because we usually cook and I'm not that used to cooking every day, right? So sometimes when you're doing only prasad, we mess up our like we put more sweet or more salt and stuff. So I asked, I told Lord Venkateswara Swami that, okay, if at all this is good, then I will, I mean, salt is right, sweet is right, then I will accept that what you said, that, Ma wants different pulao prasadams, and I'm a good cook and you want to taste now. This is the comment you made, right? I will accept it and I'll start doing. If in case sweet is less or salt is more, then I think it's my ego and I'll ignore and I'll put curd rice. And firstly, I create and I give it to my husband, saying, how is the salt? How is the sweet? Is it perfect? I thought, oh, okay, I'll make. Then I said, Amma, sorry. I I thought that I should do three prasad every day. I said, no, child. They talk to us like child. I said, no, child, just do one. But every day do different. I said, okay. Every day after that last week to this now, I said, Amma, are you happy with this? Did you like this? I keep asking every day. Nothing. It's like radio silence. Then I say, okay, give me a sign. In that picture, sometimes we see the smile of the gods. Smile, talk to me. I said, no. And today's day 15. I opened casually the records, and then I asked, why is it that I'm not able to hear to her? So it's like it became a very, a puzzle to me. Then masters told she's a very high vibrational goddess, and if you have to talk, your vibration should match it. I said, okay, that's it. Oh, okay, fine. Maybe I'll work towards it. I'll keep reciting whenever Ma wants to talk to me, and I'll wait. Today, day 15, first time I hear to her voice, and I'm like, oh, it is like, how do I say? It's like it's coming from the universe, like the stars. I could see that she's talking from the universe, the moon, stars, in between the planets, and from there, s- there's already a background, like Omkaram is already there, and it is coming not from some radio or some, it's between the planets, some a movement. I don't know how, but it sounds like, oh, and it is like, you know I come from a very musically inclined family, but so far I have not heard such kind of ohms. Okay, I have heard so many omkaras in chanting way, in talking way, but I have not heard that kind of omkara. It's hard to say. I don't know to tell it, but it is like oh, but it's more of a reverbing. And from there, Ma is talking and she's talking. I said, I'm so happy that you're doing it. I'll be there as your Vani when you're doing this Durga Saptasati explanation so that my devotees can get connected to me. I'm super proud of you for taking this when you heard it. And we are seeing your efforts and you're every day doing it. I'm loving it. I'm blessing you, all of it. And then I'm like, is it really her? That voice, and my heart chakra is like totally on fire. My whole, this part of the head, whenever I speak with gods. I don't know of other divinities, but when I speak, I get like totally pulled. So total pulling here. Other day I was speaking to one of the goddess, one Tritingiram. She spoke through me, and that time also I had like kind of total some pain over here, and even after next day I was feeling lack of energy. That much tiring it was, because they are very high vibrational. Gods are very high vibrational. Yes, they are just mere humans. So, but then it was so energetic that I couldn't get. We get a lot of headaches in the beginning. Even now, sometimes it is possible. And this, I'm knowing that she is God, because this whole again started thumping, and the heart chakra is like reverbing. My whole being is reverbing actually, along with what she's talking. And I'm like, okay, but still, egoistic mind is, very, very. Our ego is very high, right? So it also can play a lot of tricks. So what I did was I asked, is it true that, is it really God? I said yes. And then I told, okay, I'm going to ask a question which I really have no answer. And if this is answer, because you're God, you should be able to give the answer to me. And if you can give me, I'm going to agree that this is yes. And then I asked, what is the difference between a Rigvedic way of reciting Durga Saptasati and Tantric way of reciting Durga Saptasati? And then she says, The Rigvedic way is more about Vedic form, Homa style, more of the pronunciation, that like how we recite from Sanskrit scholars, rishis and stuff. And Tantric way is more about how you're reciting, getting connected with the divine and chanting and visualizing her as a god and doing mantras and stuff. And that is the reason I asked you to do all this, prakriya. So without knowing, I started with Kavacham, then I started doing Kilakam, Arganam, Kilakam, then it is Devashtakam. Then I started doing Ratri Stotram. Then I started doing Navavana Mantra. First I did for only 1 or 2 times. Then she said, no, you need to do for 13 times. So I started doing 13 into 1 or 2 times. And then, but I was not able to finish. So I started doing 13 into 1 or 2 times first, then doing in between the order I was again doing 1 or 2 times, and then doing the 13 at the last part. Then there is Maa Chandi Stotram, one thing. After that, I was doing the Kunjika Stotram and then the Aparadhana Stotram. This is the order I am following every day with doing Prasadam and all of that. So this whole method is the Tantric way. That is the reason we asked you to do. No, it's not Devashtakam, it is Devi Sukta. That's what they said. You did wrong. So super meticulous there. So I asked them, please be, because I'm super nervous to do this call talk, because we are talking about Ma, right? So yeah, they're saying, that's you, my super sweet. So we have this knowingness when the guides talk to the Akash beings talk to us. We have this knowingness. So this all of this thing is tantric method. And then she said, I'm gonna be with you, do this translation, do this. I said, Amma, please give me strength. I'm really scared. There's so many scholars out there, and I put this, and I'm at the beginning stages of whatever we can talk about. I'm not such great person to talk about you. I said, no, please do it. I will be behind you. I'll be the force. I'll be the Vani behind your things. Please do it. So with that as an assurance, I said I felt so privileged. I felt honored. I felt devotion. I mean reverence. I can't say it. Because after that, when I was reading this Durga Stotram, I could relate. She's so huge. She's so big. She's coming from there. Obviously, right? And when we are seeking support from her, obviously she can support us. So that's what I thought. Oh my God. Sorry. So that's how she's so grand, so high in vibration, and that is how she can help every one of us from fulfilling our desires, be it spiritual enlightenment or our desires. So with that as a thing, this is my small sharing, and with this as my inspiration, I'm doing this translation and transliteration and symbolism, hidden and esoteric meanings. Mostly it is to connect deeply with divine. So if you get called, or if you think this is something which I should share it, because my intention of doing the series firstly is driven by divine, secondly it is to demystify those myths and provide, at least my intention, obviously it would be the same from Ma also, give you unadulterated wisdom about knowing her, praising her, connecting with her, so that when we are reciting this part, this Durga Saptasati part, we will be totally in reverence about her. And we'll be not like doing recitation just for the sake of doing, or, um, you know, doing it without understanding the real meaning. We're just going by, if you're a Hindi person, you're reading it in Hindi, the Sanskrit verses, and you're not able to understand the meaning of it. Or if you are a Telugu guide, you're reading it in Telugu language, but the Sanskrit verses, but you're not able to follow the actual meaning. So it's of no use, right? We're just reading for the sake of reading. From there, Ma wants us to connect. Ma wants to deeply understand what is the nature of her. what does this asuras mean? What are the demons mean? And what is the hidden meaning? Who is this Madhu Kaitab? And what are the hidden meanings behind the names? And what are the nature of them? How does it relate to our normal lives? And how it can help us ascend? How it can help us attain liberation, moksha? All of this is what she wants me to talk about. So please spread this knowledge. Listen to the coming videos. And if you think this is something which can be shared with your friends, family, because I wanted to build this world of pure love for God, celebrating Mother, celebrating this superpower of Ma Durga Kali, the goddess or the gods with whom we are connecting in whatever way, and fall in love with them, their traits, their persona, their personality, their love, compassion, their way of synchronously bringing the universe together to aid us towards our path. Even though there are some problems that may pop up, all of them has a hidden meaning. And God is so. I done multiple conversations being a divineer, and clients come. I was able to talk about the God intention. It was so meticulously framed, meticulously planned, given multiple opportunities, chances through multiple ways. And we are humans are so ego struck that we don't want to catch those instances which God is trying to put so that we can ease our problem. So if nothing works, that is where God is gonna give you some hardships to at least shake us and help us and make us fall into bring them into our embrace. But even when it feels like they're shaking us, she's shaking us, and still she'll provide support. She'll provide a lot of love, support from the ecosystem, from people around. So that it doesn't feel like, even though I'm feeling choked, still I feel like breathing. It's not like I'm totally out of breath. So oxygen, she gives that in the most darkest times of our life. If you look back in your life, I'm sure you'll also relate how God's presence is so subtle. They don't come across very harsh. They're very subtle at the background. But if you have to be having this knowledge to be able to see them and find them and walk in their path. So it happened with me. I'm sure it would have happened with all of you also. So let's together celebrate Ma's glory through this series. So namaste once again, and thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me hands together to spread love about God, not fear-based ways to connect with God, but connecting with God with reverence, devotion, understanding their true nature. Okay? So thank you once again.